Look at this chart tracing the WNBA's viewership trajectory entering its 30th season. The line peaks over 2.5 million viewers, driven by a broadcast schedule featuring an all-time high of 216 nationally televised games. Those macro-level metrics are fueled by specific individuals pulling millions of new eyes to the sport, starting with rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. Right alongside her is Angel Reese, bringing a fierce, highly visible rivalry that dominates social media feeds and sports talk radio. And meeting both of them at the rim are tough-as-nails veteran enforcers like Alyssa Thomas. But combining intense physical basketball, a massive new audience, and highly visible stars has a downside. The league's massive financial and cultural growth is currently fighting for screen time against extreme on-court violence and a highly polarizing off-court culture war. With millions of new viewers tuning in every single night, the structural limits of the game's infrastructure are fracturing under the weight, starting with the physical play on the hardwood. The 2026 season presents a bizarre statistical contradiction. Referees are calling a record 44 fouls per game, yet they routinely swallow their whistles during the most violent collisions. When a regulatory system built for a smaller, niche audience gets thrust onto mainstream national television, its flaws are broadcast to the world. The breaking point for the refereeing infrastructure arrived in a highly physical June 2026 matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Phoenix Mercury. During a scramble for a loose ball, Alyssa Thomas struck Caitlin Clark in the throat with a closed fist. On the floor, the officials called absolutely nothing. After reviewing the tape post-game, the league office retroactively upgraded the hit to a flagrant 2 and suspended Thomas for 1 game. That delayed response sparked outrage, subjecting Thomas to a wave of horrific racial slurs and death threats online. The exact same failure happened again when Angel Reese shoved Clark in the neck area during a loose ball scramble. Once again, no whistle was blown, and officials ignored requests for a review. This chart of the 2026 technical foul leaders shows the direct result of that escalating physical intensity and frustration. Clark and Reese are tied at the absolute top of the league with 7 each. To fix these missed calls, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert announced a massive structural overhaul, a multi-million-dollar centralized replay center launching in 2027 to take the burden off the floor crews. However, installing new cameras and a replay center only solves the basketball problem. It does nothing to protect the league from the political threats brewing entirely off the court. In July 2026, Fever guard Sophie Cunningham gave an interview stating her opposition to trans women participating in female sports. That single stance triggered immediate protests outside arenas and drew high-profile endorsements from politicians. That controversy opened the door for a bad-faith trolling stunt that rapidly escalated the culture war, biological males announcing their intentions to enter the 2027 WNBA draft. First came former NBA player Enes Kanter Freedom, who publicly claimed he was identifying as a woman specifically for the purpose of playing professional basketball. Shortly after, a second former NBA player, Royce White, joined the stunt, amplifying the political spectacle on social media. Immense mainstream attention has transformed the WNBA into a high-value target for political opportunists looking to score points on a national stage. So, mechanically, how did the rulebook legally allow 2 former NBA players to even declare for the draft in the first place? This breaks down the eligibility clause in the WNBA collective bargaining agreement. The text plainly states, only players who are women are eligible. Because this language lacks strict biological or chromosomal definitions, it left a structural vulnerability open for political trolls to exploit. The WNBA swiftly denounced the draft stunts as bad faith efforts to demean others, and it is worth noting that a trans woman has never actually competed on an active WNBA roster. But step away from the political theater and look at the actual sport. Despite the referee crises and the off-court noise, the basketball product has never been stronger or more popular. Brutal referee scrutiny, constant replay reviews, and hijacking by political culture wars are proof that the WNBA has unequivocally made it to the big leagues.